Hi guys. Okay, so this is the time of year where you really need to be deciding where you're going to go to college. If you haven't already, it's kind of crunch time because there are so many things that need to be done before you can actually go there in the summer. You have to enroll, and you have to do an enrollment agreement, you have to do housing applications, and there's just so much that needs to be done that if you don't already have the school you're going to decided, right now you need to decide. So that's why I'm kind of doing this video. It is public versus private universities. And I kind of looked up this video on YouTube just to see what I can find. And there's really not that many videos out there about this, which I was really surprised about. But, so here's just kind of my take on it. I've never been to a public university. I've gone there to visit older sibling. Most of my friends went to public universities. So I visited them and I've talked to them on what they think about it, what they like. And so I kind of feel like I know about it, but yeah, I've only been to a private university. But so here's kind of some pros and cons between public and private. First is the dorm life. Most private schools you go to aren't going to have co-ed dorms. They're usually all boy or all girl. Personally, I liked being in an all-girl dorm. It was a lot easier. You could walk around in a towel and feel comfortable. You could go to the bathroom without your bra on and not worry about some guy like looking at you weird. You didn't have to worry about doing your laundry with boys because our laundry was in our dorm and it was all girls. And so it can sound like, since it's all girls, that you're going to get your clothes stolen more. I've never had anything stolen from my laundry room. And I also think that's another distinction between a private and public. I feel like more theft and stuff goes on in a public university just because there's so many more people. Not saying because, oh, public schools are bad, there's bad people there. Just because there's so many more people that the odds of there being more theft and stuff is just an obvious, there's more people there. So I never had to worry about anything getting stolen out of the laundry room. I definitely put stuff in the washer and went to dinner for like an hour and came back, and like people will take your stuff out of the washer and like set it on a table or something because they need to use the washer, but I've never worried about something getting stolen unless it's been in there for a very long time, like weeks and weeks and weeks. Then somebody might pick it up. Just because it's been in there so long, you obviously don't want it or you don't care, so someone will pick it up. So don't leave your clothes in there for weeks. So yeah, dorm life is definitely a lot different. My dorms were really nice. There was a dorm that was really, really nice. That's kind of like, people say it's like living in a hotel. Like, it was a really, really nice dorm. And then the dorm next to us was like an average college dorm, which, just kind of gross. So most private schools have really nice dorm life. It is a little bit more expensive to live in the nicer dorms, but it's an option that you might not get in a public school. Making friends between public and private. I personally think it's easier to make friends in a private college just because it's a close-knit of people. There's not that many people, so you meet people a lot better. I don't know if that makes sense. You notice people in your classes more. Like, oh, this person's in this class, and this class. Instead of, oh, I've seen this person once, and who's that person, and I want to go to lunch, but all my friends are in class, and I don't know anyone in the lunchroom. I've never went into the lunchroom and didn't know at least one person in there, and I've never had a class with someone that was only in like one class of mine. They were usually in a couple classes of mine. So, also I don't know if my college did this on purpose, but I really feel like they did because it was like this in other halls. My hall was mainly education majors. Not all of us were education majors, but it was mainly education majors. And the hall next to us was mainly nursing majors with a few education majors. So it was really like, I feel like they did that on purpose, which is something that's maybe not as possible to do in a public university, to like just kind of get everyone together. Ooh, I just heard something. I think it was my neighbors. But yeah, so there's another difference between a public and a private. If you like bigger, like more people, a bigger group, a bigger span, then I would probably go to a public university. But there's also a bigger chance of getting lost in the crowd there when there's not that big of a chance in a public university. Also, some people, like, the statistic is that Private universities are more expensive, but right now with the economy and everything, they're getting to be about equal, especially depending on the one you go to. Also, with public universities, most of them do not charge an out-of-state tuition. It's usually a one-rounded tuition, where public colleges do an out-of-state and an in-state tuition. So if you're wanting to go out-of-state somewhere, I would recommend applying to private universities because they're not going to charge you extra for being out-of-state. So, also, I feel like the food was better at my school because they weren't having to make tons and tons and tons. Like, they weren't just mass-producing this, like, nasty stuff. They only had to make so much, so it was a lot better. Also, the having to know someone in there is a lot better. Also, I feel like I didn't get picked on for being a freshman ever. They weren't always like, oh, that person's a freshman, let's pick on them because we're seniors. Like, that never happened. My best friend, he went to the same school as I did, and then he went and visited a public university, and he seemed to like the public university better. So it really all depends on you. I would definitely go do college visits of both, just to kind of see what your view is. Also with partying and stuff, people say partying doesn't happen at private universities. It does happen, it's just not as common. I was not a huge partier in high school, and I wasn't a huge partier in college either my first year, but I did stay out till 4 in the morning every single night my first semester, not because I was out drinking or anything. We just like to hang out and watch movies and do all kinds of weird, crazy stuff at 4 in the morning. Also, because we stayed out every single night, the security guard got to know us, and he let us stay in buildings late because he knew us and he knew we didn't leave it a mess, we didn't do anything. So you become friends with like security guards, and like your teachers know you, and they were willing to help you because they know you and they know you're a good person and a good student. So the fact that you get really intimate with a lot of people is also a really good thing. The only thing I ever got picked on for was being a pledge, because people know you're a pledge because you wear a pledge tag around for an entire semester. So people know you're a pledge and they will pick on you for being a pledge. But that's the only thing. Also with social clubs, there's more social clubs in a public university. So if you're wanting to get really, really involved with a ton of social clubs, I'd go to a public university. I don't recommend getting really, really involved with a lot. I knew someone who pledged like every social club he could possibly pledge his first semester, and he had to end up dropping out at like half of them because you can't keep your grades and pledge every single club. Pledging is hard work. Let me tell you, my pledging was hard work. There's stuff you had to do. You had to bond with every single member. You had to bond with your pledge class. Like, there was so much stuff you had to do on top of your schoolwork, and I only pledged one club. So I suggest pledging one club a semester, just because it is a lot of work. So I would go to a private school because, I don't know, that's my personal opinion. I choose private school. But if you like public schools, then that's your say. But definitely go check them both out. I hope this video helped with kind of some differences between privates and public schools. Just let me know if you guys wanted to hear anything else about them. And thanks for watching, and please subscribe. There's tons and tons of more college videos coming. So, yeah, thanks. Bye, guys.